So someone asked me about a question regarding a series of functions and which ones have an inverse function. Um, every equation has some sort of an inverse. The question is really, is that inverse itself a function or not? So let's look at the four different equations that were given in the problem. And those are them. So let's look at them one at a time. If I look at the original y equals x squared and I think about its inverse, what I notice is that if I look at, for example, negative 3 comma 9 and positive 3 comma 9, that means that my inverse is going to have 9 comma 3 and 9 comma negative 3. My inverse is going to be a sideways facing parabola. Well, is that a function? Nope. There's an x value, such as 9 or 4 or any positive number. Every x value that's positive has two different y values, the top arm and the bottom arm. So y equals x squared has an inverse graph, but the inverse graph is not a function. So what you're looking for on your original graph is you're looking for a place that is horizontally lined up. If there are points where the y value is shared, then the inverse will not be a function. In other words, if there are 2 points that have the same y value, where a horizontal line touches it, when I draw the inverse, a vertical line will touch it twice. So let's quickly go through the other ones. Inverse is not a function. Here we're good. Inverse is going to be a function. The inverse is just going to be another line. Every x has a y. When I look at y equals 3, the inverse of y equals 3 is quite easy. It's just x equals 3. Well, that sure as heck does not pass the vertical line test. There are an infinite number of x values that have different y values, or there's the x value of 3 has an infinite number of y values. I said that backwards. It's the inverse is not a function because the line x equals 3 has a single x value that gets mapped to an infinite number of y values. And last but not least, our good friend square root of x. Square root of x is a function, and its inverse is also a function. The inverse is just one arm of a parabola. Because the square root of x, when written down as a symbol by itself, is simply the positive value. There's only one y value for each x value. And similarly, its inverse is just the positive arm of x squared. And so it is also a function. So to wrap up, no, yes, no, yes, that is how you answer those four questions.